You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan. I'm broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios and brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It only can be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her that Gene sent you. It's time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
When you rent out your home, you automatically become a small business owner and are subject to all kinds of rules and regulations. Fair housing laws, rental licensing, CRPs, lead paint, radon, carbon dioxide, just to name a few. As someone who provides rental housing, you'll have to learn more about your community, your city council, and your law enforcement agencies than you ever imagined. But if you properly manage your business, you'll also become an important and positive partner in the community. The Minnesota Multi-Housing Association is the most comprehensive resource you'll find for everything you need to help you successfully manage your rental business. Visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. Look around the website, download the free guide to successful property management, download the free brochure about the eviction process, and learn about the many ways you can turn your small business into a good business.
Always love to hear from our listeners. We broadcast the show earlier in the week, and it plays over the weekend here on AM 1280, The Patriot. But there's a way for you to communicate and share your ideas and your thoughts. Go to our website at New Concepts. The website address is www.newconceptsgroup.com. When you pull up the homepage, you'll see something that says Education and Resources. It has a pull-down menu, says Radio Show. Click on that. It has my contact information if you wish to call me by phone or email me your thoughts. Please do so. Always love to hear from our listeners on what you think. Am I being oversensitive here, folks? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill here? I don't think so. I think we have, as I've stated throughout this entire show here, I think we have let the pendulum swing in the other direction way too far in this area of rights versus responsibilities. And we're in an area of our society now where rights are being demanded and are being something that people are asking for more than balancing them with their responsibility as well. And that is never more apparent than in a homeowner association because you're living closely with other folks. We're talking about it's now becoming a cottage industry. You've got these websites like freemypaws.com that's helping people step by step saying, here's the assessment test to show that you have a mental disorder. And they go on and they made the claim. Again, I'll read this. I'm incredulous. Even if you don't think you're legally disabled, you still may be. And so, folks, they're saying, you know what? You don't even know that you have a mental disorder. And so they are going through, how do I qualify so that I can get an emotional support animal, even though my association is not allowing this? And I'm just saying, really, do we want to go down that road? I don't think so. I think there's some other ramifications we haven't thought about. And I don't think that this is something that should just be negated here. What do you think of this? In the area of real estate, I've been a real estate broker now for almost 30 years. And in that time, there are things that anybody who is in real estate, that things have to take place to have a contract where you legally are able to purchase real property from someone else. And of course, it goes through an entire list. And if you are licensed in real estate, you're a professional and you know the things that you need. For example, you have to identify who the parties are who are purchasing. You need to have something called consideration, or in other words, actual money's got to transfer hands. You have to have signatures. It has to be in writing. These are things for the contract to be valid. Otherwise, you don't have a valid purchase. Well, here's one that all of these people who are pushing the emotional support animal idea, I think, beyond its boundaries where it should be. They're not thinking of this. Here's another important aspect of the real estate contract. It says that it must involve competent parties. Well, what is a competent party? Well, there is a quick phrase that we were told in real estate school years ago. You need to be an adult, sane and sober. And what they mean by that is you can't be a minor, because the idea is if you're not an adult, you haven't matured and gone through enough life to be able to make a decision of such a magnitude that you're going to be now responsible for. And so they want to make sure that you're of age. So you need to be an adult. That's an important aspect. If someone were to sell property to a minor, if someone were to rent property to someone who was not an adult, that contract would be invalid. And that landlord or that person could find out that they would have no leg to stand on in enforcing that. Well, how about this idea of the other stools to this leg of competency for a party? You have the adult, but you also have a person who can't be drugged. In other words, that you can't have someone who is on drugs, who was drunk at the time. They have to be of sound mind. And that brings us to the last item, that last leg of competency that is determined on whether or not you have a valid real estate contract, and that is the person mentally impaired? Well, you've got this this website saying, hey, look, even if you don't think you're mentally disabled, you really still may be. And they said there are more than 25% of all Americans who really do have a diagnosable mental disorder. And now they're going on and explaining, as I mentioned before, all of the different things that can be included for this disorder. Well, my question is, if that's true, if someone has a mental disorder, is that an impairment that is enough that would prevent them from being able to meet this test that's required to be able to actually own real estate? What do you think? I don't think that's a crazy notion at all. I think that's something that ought to be considered. I think it's something that the ADA ought to be able to really think about before being quick to just increase this net. Because now, is it possible that we're going to get to a point where someone else is now going to say, well, look, I had someone who was mentally impaired to such a state emotionally, and they were unable to really deal with themselves as a member of society. That's not discrimination. That was taking advantage of them. And now are people going to be able to get out of contracts based on that? I'm telling you, we need to be careful with what's going on here. In our quickness to rationalize, and by rationalizing, I mean give an excuse. You're giving a good reason for the real reason. The real reason, you have people who want what they want when they want it. In this case, a pet, even though they signed a contractual agreement in a homeowners association saying, I understand before I purchase that no pets are allowed, and I'm okay with that. If that was not okay, they should not have purchased in the first place. Well, hey, that's all the time we've got for today's show. Thanks for taking time to be with me. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. Look forward to seeing you here next Saturday for Where You Live.
I have been chosen. Farewell, my friends. I go on to a better place.
Tough to say goodbye to.
Bye.